popcorn. We are two niggas spoiling movies. Yeah. Brandon Collins, that's me, and Justin Brown for your movie needs. Medium popcorn. Woo! You haven't seen it, well, we're gonna spoil it. Spoil it in your face. That's your warning. So if you get pissed, it's all your fault.
Expecto Patronus. We are Medium Popcorn. I'm Eddie Collins.
Guys, this is Justin Brown, and I ain't coming in with that kind of level of excitement that Brandon is.
Well, listen, folks. We're talking about Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Y'all been really enjoying these, recaps, and I've been getting text messages and tweets and stuff about it. We know y'all enjoy this, but we're getting towards the end. We got 2 more to go after this one, and then Lord knows where we're going after that. But
hold on, hold on. So the last movie is technically one movie, but in 2 parts.
Yes, it's definitely House is the last book, but it's split into 2 because there's so much story. But it was really the Warner Brothers just wanted to fucking squeeze as much as they could out of it, because if it was all about the story, these movies would be way better. Like, I think for me, and I definitely want to focus on your thoughts and your experience, Justin. For me, rewatching this, there's some really solid parts in this. But at the same time, rewatching these movies has reminded me how much has been omitted from the books that I'm hoping that series will do a better job executing, because there's so much about the Horcruxes and shit that's in the book where I'm like, oh, they barely even touch on this in the movie. So it's kind of like if you're outside looking in and watching this for the first time, you're like, what's the big deal? Like, why is this so important? But Justin, we watched that.
Hold on. But before we get into that, I say that because can we just combine the last 2 movies in one?
You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. We got to break it up. That's what the audience wants, Justin.
Oh, I want this to be over.
Wait. So did you not like this one?
No, this is trash. This is fucking trash.
I figure you're going to be upset about how much they put Harry and Draco through in this movie. Like, they tell Draco Malfoy, you got to kill Dumbledore, one of the most powerful wizards in the world.
Nigga, I'm going to tell you right now. So, again, my nephew comes up to me. He's like, oh, so what do you think? I said, this is fucking trash. I'm going to tell you exactly what I told him. We're getting a lot of, kind of teen fucking, hijinks and fucking, love story in this.
Yes.
And a lot of it is poorly written. This is a poorly written movie. I just want to let you guys know. This is a poorly written movie. It is not fucking good. And on top of that, this is how long? 2 hours and what? 2 hours and what? 2 hours and what? All right, almost 2 hours and 2.5 hours for this film.
Yes, made almost $1 billion, by the way.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Almost
$1 billion worth of bullshit. This
almost
is
one of the most expensive movies ever made,
and it's trash. So this movie is 2.5 hours. Yet at the same time, you only get about 20 to 30 minutes of real-time action in this film. This movie is a lot of fucking garbage, gumbo bull crap that I had to get through just to get to something, serviceable to watch. This is a really, really long, dragged out shit show. The actors are trash. A lot of the performances are really fucking garbage.
Okay, well, that's...
No, I'm not done, Brennan. Okay. I'm not fucking done. All right. And then, of course, let's rewind. I knew I was going to be upset with this because the movie starts off where, they did all this bullshit. Harry's about to get him some ass. He's about to give some delicious Nubian with a little bit of milk in it. He's kind of light-skinned ass.
Oh, yeah, the
chick at the diner.
Yeah.
And here comes Dumbledore. Let me whisk you away and cock block you.
He showed up mad creepy across the platform, too.
Yeah, you fucking old, dirty, decrepit son of a bitch.
There is a nice callback to that scene, though. There is a nice callback to this scene, though, in the final movie. Just want to let you know.
Regardless, then Dumbledore, he drops him off to his friend's house unannounced. This little girl's just like, Harry's shit is here. His owl's here. It's like, is Harry here? And he's like, no, Harry's not here. And also Harry's there because Dumbledore just dropped his shit there an hour earlier. Like, what the fuck is going on? First of all, he's overstepping bounds. Dumbledore, he's overstepping bounds. He's really just taking just taking a lot of liberties here. Okay. Then on top of that, Brandon, we start the fucking school year off, and this nigga goes, there is an evil, powerful force out there, and the only people who can stand between that force are you. You, the children. And me, as a powerful wizard, I will not do shit, but you are the ones who are going to fight the good fight. A room full of children. Go fuck yourselves because I'm going to go on vacation.
Mind you, at this point, the Death Eaters have attacked the real world. Like, London's all fucked up and shit. They're killing people and stuff.
Nigga, where are the other powerful wizards? Where are the other powerful wizards? You're telling me every powerful wizard in the world is just a teacher in his fucking school? Or attached to the fucking what was Harry's last name? The Weasels or whatever fucking
the Weasleys. That's Ron's family.
Yeah, the Weasleys. It's just like, what's going on? What's going on that there are no other fucking wizards in this universe that are ready to stand up, ante up, and put some asses in the ground? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So you're telling me that this
or the Phoenix is disbanded because Sirius died, remember?
Nigga, I don't care. I'm talking right now. Dumbledore is looking at a room full of children and saying, you're the ones who are going to have to do this shit. You're the ones who got to fight this fight. Fuck you, Dumbledore. Fuck you. That's why I'm glad your ass fell off that castle. I'm glad you cracked your fucking skull open against the goddamn ground and you're dead.
He was already dead before the fall.
I ain't done yet, Brandon. I ain't fucking done. I have a feeling you're going to come back. You're going to come back somewhere in the second film and you're going to be totally fine. And you know what? When you come back, I know one thing. You're eventually going to die. And I'm going to love that day when you die. Even if it's of old age. You are going to die, Dumbledore. You are a piece of shit. And all the teachers in the schools are pieces of shit. And I need this thing to be over. There you go. That's what I got to say about this film.
I knew that you were going to be like going in on Dumbledore. I knew that was going to be a big. You're just going to text in front of me. You done. Yep. You done with the episode.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck now.
Okay. You just okay.
Go on.
Just go disrespect the audience by just texting away because you don't want to talk about Dumbledore. Listen, I knew that you were going to have issues because Dumbledore displays very egregious behavior in this. Between the whole, like, I need you to basically pimp yourself out to this professor that I brought back because he has a secret memory. That's the thing is, like, this movie, like, I will agree. Like, I think Steve Kloves, who wrote all but the last movie of the Harry Potter scripts, he doesn't do a very good job of consolidating this and explaining this for, like, regular schmegular audiences that haven't read all these books, right? Because it's so convoluted and, like, the themes are all over the place. Like, the theme is about love, right? Like, especially with Harry and his relationships and, like, and Ron, and the love potions, that whole thing. But
wrap that shit up.
But the thing is, that's actually how Voldemort came to be, and they never touch on Voldemort's backstory really, because Voldemort was actually, like, his mom was like a crazy witch, and she, like, used a love potion on his father and, like, to seduce him and shit, and that's how Voldemort came to be. So that's why when Tom Riddle goes to meet his birth father, they're like, "Who the fuck are you? Like, get the fuck out of here!" And he kills everybody. Like, that's the beginning of the Horcruxes, and so. Yeah. And it kind of diluted, like, this whole thing, like, where the actor Jim Broadbent, who's Horace Slughorn, who's brought in, he teaches potions, and he's all about, like, I knew this wizard, back when they were a student, they loved me, and I loved them, like, because he has a thing with Harry's mom. He's like, your mom was one of my favorite students, that she gave me this thing. And he's able to kind of manipulate that to get him to reveal this memory that he's been hiding, which is basically he helped put Voldemort on the path towards creating Horcruxes, which is when you kill somebody and part of your soul splits off into an object or something like that is part of your soul. So basically you become immortal. Yeah. It's like incredibly... The book, I believe, describes as a pretty painful process, both for, obviously, the victim who gets killed, but also for Voldemort himself. But the movie doesn't touch on any of this stuff. It's just, to add to your argument, it feels like it's throwing so much at you and nothing at the same time. Yeah. And it's very weird. Like, because the most compelling storyline when I was watching this was the whole Snape doing the unbreakable vow with Malfoy's mom. and basically being like, I gotta help this kid with this mission, which we later learn is like Draco Malfoy has been tasked with killing Dumbledore because his father let him Voldemort down in the last movie when they did the attack on the Ministry of Magic. And it's just like, you basically see Draco Malfoy's fucking breaking down, and he and Harry are like they're like beating each other up now. Like, it's not even like fun and games, like because he paralyzes Harry on the train, fucking stomps him in the face.
Yeah, that was gangster shit.
Yeah, and then Harry later on, when they had the confrontation in the bathroom, Harry does this fucking crazy spell that he got from the Half-Blood Prince's book, and basically it looks like Draco Malfoy got shot with a shotgun. Like, I was like, damn. Yeah, it's pretty gangster.
And then fucking Snape comes along. He's just like, get out of here, everybody. He's just like, we'll fix you up.
Well, did you figure out who the Half-Blood Prince was?
Yeah, it was Snape.
But did you figure it out before he revealed himself and stuff?
No.
Oh, okay. Got it.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know how I was supposed to figure that shit out.
When you're reading it, it's pretty obvious that's Snape, because you're also learning it. When the book, you're learning more about Snape and shit. Like, it's watching this as someone who read the books, I was like, man, I remember being frustrated watching this movie, and not just because of the poor acting, because the young actress that plays Ginny Weasley is god awful. She's really bad, and like fans were saying that from the beginning. Like, they were like, she is so bad. Like, there's no reason like anyone would be remotely attracted to her.
Yeah,
not just physically, but she has no emotion. She just is blank.
Yes,
it's weird. Emma Watson, she almost wanted to quit the franchise because she just was feeling like isolated and depressed. Daniel Radcliffe also was feeling depressed. He basically said that this is the movie where like his alcoholism was in full bloom. Like, he was basically numb on set all the time. So these kids were going through it. and I'm sure at this point, because they're 6 movies in, they probably have teams that are still relying on them. They have family and friends that are probably relying on that money.
There's no dropping this shit.
Yeah, it's tough at this point. And then also for the fans. Like, imagine if one of them, like Emma Watson, Rupert Grint, or Daniel Radcliffe had quit. When we have 3 more stories to tell, breaking that continuity, the audiences would have been nuts, dude.
I would have been so happy. I would have been so happy that these movies would just cut short, and I'd love it. No, I mean, they recast them. They would definitely recast them.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, they would have had to just to beat it. But like, yeah, I mean, like, yeah. To Yuvia's point in the chat, the studio got death threats because they had to delay the movie.
Yeah,
and stuff like this is like ramping up, and so it's unfortunate because this franchise means a lot to people, like especially the books and stuff like that. But it never like no one should ever feel threatened for their life about being a creative and just wanting to be an actor in like some fantasy shit. You know what I mean? Especially a young person that's like 18, barely an adult.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm not saying that part aspect of it is cool, but it's just one of those things. Like when you're part of something that's huge and you get rabid fans, it's just like, I'm not saying it's okay, but like you open your life to this to that level of craziness and and fandom, which is extremely toxic. And unfortunately, it's just the nature of society that we live in, that people get so fucking inundated with this idea or this work that they're just like, if it's not happening at their fucking at their will, they lose their shit. And like, it's fucked up, but
I know, but it's also like, I mean, like sometimes as an actor, like you can't turn down opportunities, even though like, they might be, like John Boyega, apparently he did an interview not too long ago where he said he had like a few $100 in his bank account before he got offered Star Wars. Right. So he's in a financial position where he's like, this is like, there's literally going to be life-changing money. And I think at the time, probably he was hoping that Disney would be better at like protecting, especially actors of color and people of color that were going to be involved in the franchise going forward. They clearly were not. But also like, for instance, who's an actor? Like there's some actors that maybe like they don't have a choice. Maybe their reps are like, if you don't take this franchise, we're dropping you. You know, I remember on Entourage, didn't Ari threaten to drop Vince because he wouldn't do Aquaman?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that happens too. Like it's, and I don't know. It just sucks because these kids clearly were going through a lot when they were making this movie. It just felt like, and this is also the darkest, it's not the darkest one. I would say the last one's pretty fucking brutal with everybody because it's kind of a bloodbath, the last one. But I want to give you a heads up. Part 1 of the Deathly Hallows is probably my least favorite movie of the whole series.
Oh, I imagine.
So I'm just setting you up. Like it'd be ironic if actually it was your favorite, but yeah, there's a lot of shit that goes down, but like it all takes place in part 2, as you can imagine. Yeah, this movie was rough because no one's really likable. Ron, it gets like drugged a bunch of times with love potions and shit. He also takes drugs. He thinks he takes the liquid current, liquid luck and shit when he's playing Quidditch and shit. There's just a lot of different storylines that never quite gel together. And then you have Harry being taken away to go to fucking Voldemort's isolated water cave, where basically Dumbledore forces him to feed him poison so they can get this Horcrux. I think what was crazier about it was when like Harry finally got that memory from Horace, and then they watched the memory with Tom Riddle, and he's like, what about like 7? And like the professor's like 7 Horcrux, like Jesus Christ, and then Dumbledore's like, like we got like 4 more of these.
Yeah,
because that was what was cool about reading in the book. It's like, the diary from like the second book and the Sorcerer's Stone from the first movie, like those are Horcruxes. Okay, cool. So they're destroying them, but then you realize, there's like a bunch of these. And he's like, this is what I had to do to just kill. Like he's basically dying from destroying one of them.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, and like you said, he's putting that pressure on Harry now.
Well, I mean, even when he's going to the final one, he's to that one, he's just like, I can't do this by myself. Harry, nigga, she'll time the ante up, yeah. Like
his actual line is, and I actually thought it was the best performance of Michael Gambon as Dumbledore. I mean, he's dead, but he goes, once again, Harry, I must ask too much of you. And I was like, Justin's gonna hate this. Justin's gonna hate everything. And it's going to get worse, Justin. You're going to be up, like Lluvia, our producers in the chat, and she knows, like, she's seen all these and stuff. Justin, you're going to lose your shit in part 2 of Deathly Hallows. When you find out the whole scope of what was happening behind the scenes that Harry wasn't privy to, you're going to lose your mind. Dumbledore, all the adults.
Listen, man, you're not, like, I'm not going to be surprised. I'm not going to be surprised because, like, I've been seeing the threads. Like, I can see where this is going.
Yeah.
Like I know what's gonna happen, but it's just like I don't like it. I don't like this not one bit.
I hear that. What'd you think of the Horace Slughorn character? The guy is brought to teach potions, and clearly, like what does he say? What does Harry say to Dumbledore? It's like, do you want me to let Horace in? To let Horace maybe one of his subjects? I was just like, I don't like that dialogue. I did not like that at all. But what did you think of the character?
I mean, it was whatever. I mean, that same character has been in this film 1,000 times over. You know what I'm saying? It's basically just any other character of fucking Harry Potter. Oh, this guy's information. Harry has to extract that information from him. And he's secretive and he's holding this, but he kind of is like he put it in the back of his mind because he doesn't want to come to terms with the fact of what he had done and, the road that he sent down fucking Mr. Tom Riddle, who turns into fucking Voldemort on and all that kind of shit. It's like, yeah, like I get that. Like that's fine.
Yeah.
But again, like, in actuality, so this is my real big problem with this film. We're dealing with so much of the teen bullshit, the love potions and yada yada yada, which like as you brought it up, where that actually has more to do in the books because that's a part of Voldemort's kind of like origin story, and that's not explained in this film. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's no thread between the two, and because there's no thread, it just seems like filler. So, I mean, all right. If, you watch anime, me, big Dragon Ball Z guy, in between all of, like the big fights, the big conflict going on, they'll have filler episodes. In the filler episode, it's just like some bullshit fucking side story. Doesn't mean shit. supposed to be funny. The comedy's not that great. Whatever. That's what this movie felt like. It felt like mostly filler when they could have cut this shit down to being like maybe 45 fucking minutes. You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, probably no. They could have cut it down to being an hour and a half easily. They could have cut an hour of filler in this shit, and that's what makes it so bad.
I hear that.
On top of that, so like if you're, so the Horcrux is so important. What was that? The dude that you just mentioned? What's
Horace Longhorn?
Yeah.
Slughorn.
Dude.
Yeah.
So that dude, put him. Let's explore more of that character in his story. Let's go deeper into that as opposed to fucking, giving us, the worst episodes of Friday Night Lights. You know what I'm saying? Like what? Like that.
By the way, there are no bad episodes of Friday Night Lights. How dare you?
Huh? No, the worst episodes. These are the ones that didn't actually make it. These are bad scripts that people are just like, we can't film this, and it was thrown. It's the bottom of somebody's trash can. That's the problem that I have with this film, and actually with this series, is that they're trying to fucking, just push in these teenager stories or love stories and shit like that, when you have a bigger, larger fucking looming element to this that you could focus on, that could be cool. That would also make this like something that's watchable for a nigga like me. But they just keep on giving us dumb shit about these fucking kids that doesn't mean shit to the main story. It's not connected. And I'm just like, why am I watching this? What the fuck is up with these kids? Why is everybody fucking obsessed with fucking Ron? This fucking weird looking ginger with a goddamn mop top. Is he Bruce Lee or is he fucking or is he fucking the nigga from Happy Days? I don't know why I can't fucking. Yeah, no, not the Fonz. He ain't cool. He ain't cool. Richie from fucking Happy Days. The nigga, he's a redhead. So it's just like, and it's like Ron is also not necessarily attractive. So it's like, these bitches ain't checking for this kid. Nobody's checking for this fucking kid.
I mean, that one woman she was distraught when Ron broke up with her.
Yeah, and she looked fucking nuts.
Yeah, she
looked
crazy.
Absolutely fucking nuts. Then you have Harry is like, we're gonna go to the dance. And then Hermione, she's just like, I'm going to ask this guy because it's gonna make Ron jealous. Ron's not gonna like it, right? So because Ron's feeling himself because he played some game of Quidditch, great, which I knew that was happening. That Harry didn't actually put the fucking the liquid luck in his shit. So he's actually he gained the courage,
the confidence,
the confidence, but just because he thinks he has it. Like, saw that shit a mile away. I was fine with that. But then for him to go on this fucking wild fucking tangent, it's like I'm the hottest nigga in the school. Everybody's gonna treat me like such. I was just like, you realize what you look like, right? You realize you ain't that fucking dude.
If it's supposed to be his
hold on. I ain't done yet. If you were Robert Pattinson's nigga from the other movies, I'd be like, all right, you got it, nigga. You got it. And then you get this win like that. Yeah, you truly feeling yourself. I get it. I understand. But you still look like you do in this film. And all of these girls fawning over him, very unbelievable. Then on top of that, Brandon, Harry, he's just like, Harry's just like, oh, all right, then I'll bring somebody to the dance, whatever. And then Hermione's just like, yeah, don't bring that girl who obviously wants to fuck you because she thinks you are who you are. I'm like, nigga, that's exactly who Harry would take to the fucking dance. He would fuck bring the prettiest chick, and he would stick his little wand in her because that's what high school kids fucking do. And his dumb fucking friend is not going to sway him from the powers of his dick. And then he goes and he brings in the weird bitch who's dressed like the fucking Tin Man. I don't remember that chick's name, But like she's just like, I've never been to this part of the castle before. Like, what is
you
going
talking about
on?
Luda Lovegood, man.
Like, she's nuts. She's fucking nuts, Brandon. So why did he invite this fucking dingbat chick? And then she like,
Okay.
that's the thing that bothers me. It's just like this. There's so much bad writing in this. Also, Harry would be cocky as fuck.
Yeah, that's like that was supposed to kind of be him like in the last book. Like he's supposed to be like teenage angst and like kind of an asshole and stuff like that. Like Ron is a little bit of a dick in this one. Well, like in the movie, especially because like, he's feeling himself finally. He's finally got the spotlight. Harry's always got the spotlight. So, but it just, like you said, it's poorly executed through the writing. I think through the direction. I've been very surprised that David Yates, like after the last one, he just directed he directed all the Hogwarts shit. Like he directed the Fantastic Beasts movies and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, why? Like, the cinematography of this movie actually is the first and only Oscar nomination of the series, I think. Because I actually thought the movie did look good. I thought especially I thought the flashbacks of Voldemort were very effective. I thought like
the fire scene was really cool.
Yeah, and I thought that like Dumbledore in the cave, like I thought that was filmed really well, like in a very fantastical, dark. Yeah, like it worked for me. And I did like Dumbledore's death scene. I liked him trying to talk down Malfoy and be like, I knew a kid that made all the bad decisions, and you don't have to continue being that kid. And Malfoy's like, they're gonna kill me. Like Voldemort's gonna kill me. Like I have to do this shit. And Snape comes in, and Snape kills him. Yeah. And I because Alan Rickman can do so much with just this look, just like a glance. Right?
What else he can?
What was that?
I don't know. That didn't come out right. Guys, I'm a little sick, so it's like
we could tell that post nasal drip at one point made you sound like a goblin. you're like not for Harry. But I mean, I will say, like as a fan of the series in general, I never got Hermione and Ron. Like I eventually just accepted it, but like even in the books, it never fully like rang true to me. It always made sense for Hermione and Harry to get together. Always made sense. It just never, like, when Ron and Hermione started, like, getting together, I'm like, this feels incredibly forced. The same way that Ginny and Harry feels incredibly forced, it's even more so in the movies because the actress that plays Ginny is so fucking bad. Yeah. It's like they have no chemistry. They have the chemistry of a blank white piece of paper. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's terrible. So there's definitely a lot of things that frustrated me watching this as a Harry Potter fan because I'm like, man, this is just not good representation. At the time, it's all we had. You know what I mean? It's the only thing we had. But now I'm like, if they can do the series right, like they have an opportunity. Warner Bros. Has an opportunity to rectify a lot of bad decisions they made creatively with the series.
Listen, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, I will not watch the series. Like this movie, these movies have turned me off to everything Harry Potter. And again, this is the 6th movie, and I've only really liked one of them.
Yeah.
They're 1 for 5, Brandon. They're 1 for 5. Why would I then invest any time? Why would I invest any time into a series with this? These are not good movies. And like I was talking to my nephew, I was like, I get why you like this because you were young and you didn't know any better. But Brandon, what's your excuse? Because you were just wrapped up in the books. So you just accepted a lot of the trash in here. Like, what is your excuse? Why did you like these movies? I don't get it. Like, I don't get
Well, like I said, like I think if you're a fan of the series, right? Like I think that these are the only things you have like as a visual representation of like that stories that you're playing in your head, right? And so we had nothing else to like really point to, so we just like accepted it as it is. But now, several years removed and rewatching these movies, I'm seeing all the flaws, and it just makes me want to go back and just reread the books, honestly. But we're this far into it, and I do love seeing you just lose your shit on it. But it's unfortunate because I mean, you were never really into this genre anyway. Like, it's not like I'm going to convert you into being a Harry Potter fan or whatever. But, like, I would hate for more people like you to, like, watch these movies and be like, this is what the fuck it's all about? Like, what are you all talking about?
Well, you know what?
You know what I mean? I also
You're
think
talking, you're talking to a nigga like I don't like some fantastical shit.
well, you also don't like to read, so you know,
No, hold on. Let's stop this. Let's stop the bullshit. You talking like I don't like fantastic. Like I love like fantasy things. This is just not good. This is just not good. Like nigga, like how I don't know how many times I've said on this podcast. I love me some Dragon Ball Z. That is fantasy.
Yes.
That is a fantasy. It's a fucking like it's
flies around a cloud and shit. Yeah,
niggas riding on a cloud on the back of a dragon. He absorbed into the dragon. He's from another planet. Like I like that shit. Okay. This just ain't it. This is just trash. And I really think, I truly think, Lord of the Rings. Lluvia in the chat. Lord of the Rings executed it better. Absolutely right. I love Lord.
Same
of the
director. They filmed everything back to back to back. Like the continuity was just like that's just. I don't know if you can compare the filmmaking process of like doing those all at once.
Doesn't matter. They did fantasy and they did it much better.
Okay,
they did much better. And also, if you're trying to do this shit and you got kids, you want with child actors, you kind of should film like 2 movies back to back. That's the way it should go.
I mean, I wonder if there's just like child laws at the time or something like that made it real difficult.
Nigga, they could make that shit work.
Maybe it's just it's hard like to play Sunday Monday morning quarterback on this shit because one, we're not directly involved in it, but also like these movies came out years ago, right? This came out in 2009. Jesus.
Trash then, trash now. Go on.
Do you see remotely though why people would be interested in this world and like these stories though?
Not after watching this.
Okay, but like the story, like from what it's trying to do on the screen, do you understand like why there could be elements of this that people actually fuck with?
Listen, I get it. I get it, but
I don't know that you do.
But the poor execution makes all of it. It's all right. But I don't know why I'm explaining to you this in a sports term because I know you're not going to fucking get it. But for the people out there who know sports,
the Cavaliers, okay.
Brandon, I'm gonna need you to shut the fuck up.
The Houston Rockets.
So this is like, okay, I've gone out and I've built the perfect team. The perfect team. Let's fucking LeBron when he moved over to the fucking Miami Heat, right?
Okay.
All right. That first year, they were supposed to win. You set this thing up for them to supposed to win, and then they go out there and they lose. And they don't get it done. That's what this is. They had all of these books all set up that's setting them up for a win, and then upon the execution, something goes wrong, and then they somehow just limp to the fucking finish. That's in sports terms, that's what this is. This is a fucking champion. This is a manufactured championship team that ends up not fucking sticking the landing.
Okay.
And that's why it's so fucking frustrating. Because like people are like, oh yeah, like it's so great, whatever. I'm like, all right. So then I buy in and I'm just like, this is your champion?
This is your king? This Harry Potter motherfucker's your king?
And that's why it's so upsetting to me. Okay, and you've been fucking jacking fucking Harry Potter off for years to me. Talk about, oh, that shit is the greatest. Oh my God, Harry Potter, Justin. You're gonna love it. It's like, yo, you don't watch Harry Potter. That means you ain't shit. And then also I watch it. And I'm just like, oh no, Brandon, you ain't shit. You ain't shit for watching this and liking this, digesting this garbage, and you can't see it for what it is, which is absolute trash. Go on.
I mean, I'm not going to defend the movie wholeheartedly, but like I do think that it takes a lot to have the longevity that this movie series did have, because there's a world where like the first movie or the second movie were so disastrous and bombed so heavily that they just stopped making the movies, right?
Yep.
And the thing is, I wonder if like they knew the full story. Like if Warner Brothers, I'm sure they like had to be pitched the whole series at some point when they made the deal with the author and stuff to kind of know where it's going. Like as opposed to I think Game of Thrones where they were just like, "Can you tell us where it's going?" And like George R. R. Martin's like, "I think this is what's going to happen, but who knows? I'm just going to go over here and fuck these fans and smoke a pipe." Because that's what he does now. He doesn't write these books. They're still waiting on 2 of these books still. The fans.
Good for him.
But I like I said, watching it back again, you know, it is frustrating because I'm reminded of some of the things that I was frustrated when I first watched it. And I think, again, I was just such a big fan that I was willing to excuse a lot of stuff. And now like being deeper into film criticism, learning actually how like you put together a script and how these stories work on set and things. There's just so many misfires, I think, on this set. I think the actors, just like the kid actors, they probably were just tired, man. They were probably like tired. They were probably like, I can't wait to do the last one, like it's finally over. I think the writing just wasn't the writing either a lot got cut from the script and the final product maybe to like make it palatable, like to be 2.5 hours or something like that, or they just did surface level touches on several subplots and things that were important to integral to the story, right? Because again, the Horcruxes are such a big story element at this point in the story for it to only be I forgot how little it's touched on in this movie. I was like, wait, that's it? Like they barely even explain what they are.
Yeah, I mean,
between
the
flashback and then Dumbledore kind of showing examples, but in the book it's way more detailed, and that's what made it so cool. That's like what made it such a cool element because you're like when you're reading the 6th book, dude. Like between me visually seeing the 5th movie, right, with Voldemort, with the fucking how powerful he was, and then this book came out right after that, I believe, if not right before the release. And I remember like between the movie and reading this book, I'm like, Harry's gonna die. Like there's no way he doesn't die because Voldemort just like think about like you're fighting an opponent, but they already have like backup versions of them ready to go. Because they're basically immortal.
Yeah.
And you don't even know, like, because Voldemort, I think at this point, like, this is even explained in the movie, Voldemort is unaware that Harry knows about the Horcruxes. He doesn't find out to the next one. Right? And so it's like, they don't even talk about how, like, hey, Harry, this actually meant to give us that home field advantage because we know something that Voldemort thinks we don't know. And they don't explain that at all. Because in reality, that's why he had to get the flashback from Horace to be able to clarify this is what Voldemort's doing. Because I think Dumbledore had an inkling, but like he actually needed confirmation that this is what Voldemort's doing so they could figure out how to defeat him. And none of that is given through all the fucking mini scenes of exposition and these storylines about love and sacrifice and all this stuff. And it's very frustrating when I'm watching this and I'm like, yeah, like I knew immediately, I was like, Justin's not gonna like this. Justin's not gonna like that. Justin's gonna be like, that's trash. Like, you know, and it just is painful. It's almost painful.
Yeah, to hear me come here and fucking just rip apart this thing that you grew up enjoying.
I mean, at this point, I'm like a teenager going into my adult years and stuff. But, you know, this was around the period of 2007 where I've started to get let down by the stuff I loved. Like whether it was these movies. I mean, Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows Part 2, I think there's some really, really good scenes. Like some of the best scenes in the whole series in that movie. But like, you know, this is also around the time that Lost was wrapping up. And I was just like, I love that show. And then like the last season, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, you know, so I think this is me like kind of coming to realization that my art that I love, the art that I love and I'm a fan of can sometimes let you down.
When did Harry Potter, when did the last one come out?
I think like 2009-ish, maybe. Oh no, this came out in 2009. So we're talking, 2010 was the next one. And then 2011 was the final one.
Okay, so this is actually just as Harry Potter is starting to, you know, wrap up. Is actually when we met in real life.
Yeah.
No wonder you were just a little bit lost and sad, Brandon, because you were losing your Harry Potter.
Well, you know, also like I don't want to get too sentimental, but like, you know, when I reflect on it, like Harry Potter came into my life at an interesting time. Like I had like a mixed relationship with reading, and like the Harry Potter books really like, helped me see outside like what's possible like in writing stories, right? Like because there's this crazy world building in like a 300-page book, and I'm just like, this is possible. And I think it just like helped restart my love of writing and creativity. Like, because there was a moment where like it kind of got tampered down, especially in middle school, because I was trying to do theater and all this stuff, and I was just constantly being beat down by these bitter white parents and shit. It was like very weird. And so I think that for me that's the reason why I'm so sentimental about this stuff, because it did come into a time in my life when, you know, I needed, you know, some kind of distraction from
Yeah, a little bit of magic.
a little bit, yeah. I wanted to believe in magic, man. I mean, I had
You
that.
should have went to Ronald McDonald's house. That's
no, because you know what it was in Michigan. Yo, like I kept hearing like the news kept playing especially Detroit. Remember, folks, it's back in like the '90s, late '90s, early 2000s. So many news stories about niggas dressed up as Barney getting beat up in Detroit, and niggas dressed up as Ronald McDonald getting beat up at the McDonald's. Like, there's a lot of solo childhood mascots and shit in Detroit. Mind you, I live in Ann Arbor, so I don't know why it worried me so much, but I was just like, I ain't trying to see the clown get beat up.
I don't want that smoke.
Yeah. But yeah, like it was just, you know, I mean, I still enjoy going to like Universal Studios and seeing that Harry Potter shit and stuff. But I do think it is time for us to revisit this and like, and for there to be a little bit more, like for them to actually explore some of these storylines and do like the stories real justice. I think the only issue is the casting is going to be way more diverse. And for me, that's just going to like, you know, we talked about earlier about the actors that get involved in these franchises, right? Like, so Snape is going to be played by a Black British actor now. Yeah. And you already know the fucking shitstorm that's caused on social media, right? Yeah. And so it's like,
DEI Potter.
It's like, what? It's fantasy shit. Like, and that's what like that's what makes prequels in these series so weird. Like the Fantastic Beasts stories, they have actors like Zoe Kravitz and Jessica Williams. Like it's more diverse than the movies we're getting here. And so I'm like, so why are the earlier movies supposed to be more diverse than the present time shit?
Yeah, where did all the niggas go?
Was there a genocide? Like what?
Yeah, exactly. Where have all the niggas gone?
Like at least Star Wars does a good job talking about that, because like, you know, in the prequel of Star Wars, you're like Mace Windu and a bunch of brown motherfuckers, and then they all get killed in the third one, and you're like, oh, okay, now it makes
gotcha.
All the Jedis are dead. Cool, makes sense now.
Fair.
Yeah, which, you know, I mean, folks, if you want to get an idea of where we're at now in society, just watch Revenge of the Sith. That'll tell you a lot. There's a lot of parallels, man, between now and that series.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, but man, we did. Lluvia, our producer, did find some letterbox reviews that she thought we should read on this episode. The first one is from Sierra, who wrote, "Why does every Malfoy scene in this look like an Evanescence music video? I'm wheezing." 3.5 out of 5 stars. Wake me up inside.
Save me.
We did do the Ben Affleck Daredevil, right?
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did. Yeah, because we kept singing that song.
How do you see?
Dude, I remember seeing that movie, the premiere, like not the premiere, but I saw it at the Chinese Theater in LA because we were out, like, I think we were looking at colleges. And I remember that song kicked in. And I remember being like, you know, teenage Brandon, like Jennifer Garner in those leather pants. And I was like, yeah, this movie's cooking. It's a terrible movie, but I remember that, just seeing that for the first time, like, yeah, it's got some. You, our producer in the chat, though, real quick, she said they finally started getting diverse in the latest one, and they finally started doing that franchise justice in the third try. Yeah, I mean, like, that was what was so great about Homecoming, like with Zendaya and like the other black actress that, like, you know, Peter Parker was initially had the crush on, that was Michael Keaton's daughter. Because I'm like, yeah, he's a kid that's grown up in Queens. Like, he's gonna like more than just a white girl. Like, because
you are not just seeing white people in fucking Queens. Sorry, ain't gonna happen. And for anybody says actually the white people are DEI being in Queens.
That was what's so great. Like, as much as I love, like, you know, Kirsten Dunst, Tobey Maguire, and James Franco, and even Andrew Garfield's, you know, stories to an extent, right? I was just like, he's not gonna be surrounded by white people. Like, it's New York City and he lives in Queens.
Yeah.
That's a big part of Peter Parker's story. So that's why Ned being like Asian American was great, like, or Pacific Asian American. That was great. Zendaya being like biracial. I'm like, that's how it should be. Like, when my kids are going to school here in Queens, they're not going to be surrounded by white people. If they are, then things have changed.
Like, where do they live? Bayside, Queens?
Yeah. Well, I think.
Yeah, no, and still there. There's a ton of, there's a huge Asian population.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you'd have to be in like Far Rockaway. But also, there are niggas in Far Rock.
Oh,
so
yeah,
like,
there's a lot. There's a lot, man.
So sorry, guys. There's no way you're going to make this thing work.
Nope. Another letterbox review our producers, Lluvia, found is from Zara with a bunch of alien emojis, which is kind of crazy. Why must J.K. Rowling kill the gays? 2. It had to be the canon one. 4.5 out of 5 stars. Because Dumbledore actually, she said later in the interview that he's gay. But again, to my frustration, this is kind of hinted at in the next movie, or the next book. Because they talk about the Deathly Hallows, which I will get your prediction in a few. But like, it's just frustrating, man. Like you talk about the writing actually is like huge. It's probably the biggest issue with all these movies is the writing. Because I wouldn't put it all on the actors. I think the actors are doing the best they can with the timelines they're given by the studio and the pressure that they're under. Okay. Bell wrote, Drake will be dressing as if he got a big job interview all of a sudden. Like, chill out. We know you're trying to get a Tom Ford suit deal. 4 out of 5 stars. Yeah, he is dressed up in suits this whole movie. Like, he's not casual anymore. But that's because he had to grow up real fast, right? Again,
this motherfucker think he's goddamn John Wick.
But again, like there's some real opportunity there for that actor to shine. And like Tom Felton did get a good bump as an actor from like, his performance in this movie. But like there was just so much more they could have done with that story because that's a lot, man. Like you're like a kid, and yeah, like you're like your family's all fucking dark and like you're all about pure bloods and shit. But being tasked with killing not only like one of the most powerful wizards in the world, but like your headmaster, which means that the school, everything is like going to be in disarray.
Yeah, this nigga.
That's fucking crazy. Yeah. And then the last letterbox review UV found is from Lindsay, who wrote, Harry has more chemistry with a dead giant spider than he does with Ginny. 4.5 out of 5 stars. True words have never been said on Letterboxd. So what did you think of at the end when basically Harry, Hermione, and Ron determined that they're not going back to Hogwarts next year? What did you think of that?
Well,
they're going to be high school dropouts.
Why would they go back? Like honestly though, I mean, well, and that's the one thing. So at the beginning, they were just like, yeah, my parents weren't sure if they were going to let me come back because of all the bullshit that's going on here. Well, all right, now the headmaster of the school is dead. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, why would you come back? There's also there's no protection. So like, it makes sense for them to be like, yeah, I don't know about this shit anymore.
That's fair.
But what I would do is I would assemble a fucking team, of wizardy niggas, and we gonna watch each other's back.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have one nigga with a bunch of gold around his neck. He's gonna be he'll be a magic nigga, Mr. T.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. I mean, but to your question earlier about like where all the powerful magic wizard niggas and stuff, they're all mad old, man. It's like where we're at now. Like everyone's too fucking old. Maggie Smith was going through radiation therapy for breast cancer when she was making this movie. That's why she looks so frail.
No, wait, no.
All these old professors can't.
No, Brandon. So so all of these people went through. There's so many kids who went through this school, right? In between Harry's parents getting killed and Harry Potter getting there. No. You're telling me there's no wizards out there that are going to stand and deliver? Nobody. Everybody just went about their own fucking lives and just said, it's like, yeah, I'm not getting involved. That's the bullshit. And Dumbledore, like, dying, that should bring niggas out of the woodwork. From yesteryear, who went to that school, who all know who the fuck Dumbledore is, and be like, nah, yo, we have to ante up on fucking this nigga right now. You took out Dumbledore. Like that would bring the boys out. But where the fuck are they?
You gotta bring the boys to the yard. You need Khalees.
You gotta bring the boys out, huh? You gotta bring the boys.
Alan Rickman joked that Dumbledore's fall reminded him of him in Die Hard when he died, falling like that. It did feel very
A
much
little
like
bit, yes, it did.
Yeah.
Because they closed up on his face.
So, Justin, before we get to our official rating, the next movie in the series is called Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Part 1. What do you predict is going to happen in Part 1 of the Deathly Hallows?
Okay, so first of all, I just want to also just state before I get into this that you telling me Dumbledore couldn't do like a quick levitation spell or something like that to make sure he didn't crack his fucking shit on the ground?
Well, no, he did the death curse. He was dead before he hit the ground. He was dead when he fell over. When he does Abracadabra, that's a death curse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Snape killed him.
Either way, I feel like the Deathly Hallows.
Deathly
I feel like
Hallows.
Deathly Hallows. Okay, I feel like they're gonna go and try to bring back fucking Dumbledore.
Okay.
I feel like that's what it's gonna be. Them trying to get Dumbledore back because they realize that this is the only motherfucker that can save us. Who will save your soul? Dumbledore, 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 door. So they're gonna go. I think the movie's gonna be about them trying to fucking bring Dumbledore back to life or some shit like that, and then whatever bullshit happens. But eventually, or it's just like maybe that's where the Horcruxes are hidden. It just so happens that the Horcrux is hidden there, or maybe they find out that Dumbledore has a Horcrux himself, and it's and that's where it's at, and they got to go get that shit to bring this nigga back. Who knows? Who knows? But I think it's definitely gonna have to do something with fucking bringing back fucking Dumbledore, or the Horcruxes are somewhere in this space, and then that's where all the bullshit's about to go down.
Back to life. Back
to reality.
All right, Justin, break down our rating system, baby.
Stop calling me baby. Guys, you know how we do this. We rate movies bags of popcorn, small, medium, large, and the XL for the exceptional, which this will not get. And if a movie doesn't deserve any delicious buttery popcorn, we throw it into the stale popcorn pile. We pile piles and piles of stale popcorn on top of it. So, Brandon, we sat down, we watched the 2009 film Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. You know all the niggas in this. I ain't gonna read down the names. What say you, Brandon?
Yeah, so this gets a medium. It's not as bad as some of the earlier Harry Potter movies, but there was enough here that kept me engaged. Like I didn't pause it like I did like with the fourth movie or the first one. So like I just watched it all the way through, and there was definitely parts where I was like, they could have cut this, or this could have been done better. Like especially with the love stories and just the casting of Ginny Weasley is such a misfire. Like and we suffer for it for the next two movies. It's one of the worst castings I think in like a huge blockbuster series like this. So yeah, a medium though. That's where I'm at. Justin, what's your rating?
Yeah, well, the budget for this one was $250 million, and it made $941.1 million at the box office. I'm gonna split that in half, and I'm gonna give this 175 million piles of stale popcorn. I think that this was not good. I think that this is, especially being this far in the game, like it shouldn't be this bad and disconnected. Like they should have figured this shit out by now. Like, come on. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, what are you doing? And it was mostly fluff, and they really just they talked around a lot of shit and just didn't get to the nitty gritty, and I hate them for it. Yeah, so 175 million pounds of stale popcorn.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. Thank you for listening as always. We also need this rant on your list, Justin, of all the Harry Potter movies so far. So we've seen 6 of these Harry Potter films. So where's this now? Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Where's that fit in your?
Yeah, somebody's have to keep these rankings for me. I know the third one in my opinion is the best. I don't know where I think the third one is the best. I think the first one was probably at the bottom for me. If I remember correctly, this has to be number 2.
Like right under the third one?
No. This has to be third from the bottom.
Oh, okay.
No, second from the bottom. Second from the bottom.
Oh, wow. So this is like your second least favorite one of the whole series.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. This is garbage.
All right. Well,
Like we finished it, and Kane immediately asked me, my nephew Kane, he immediately asked me, he's like, "Oh, so what do you think?" And I guess apparently I just started going off, and then Paul was just like, "Jesus, Justin, calm down."
I mean, you do have a lot of anger issues you got to pass.
No,
Like,
actually,
at one
no,
point,
I
like, I'm
don't.
sure Kane was like, "I don't think this is about Harry Potter anymore, Uncle Justin."
Nah, man.
And they won't call me back. and LinkedIn lies. You're like, what? I thought you just talking about a wad.
Yeah, this is just not. It's just not good. It's not good.
Well, yeah.
I would not. If my kids got into Harry Potter, I would tell them you have to watch this shit in another room.
Yeah. Did you?
I don't wanna see it.
Yubi's asking, did you like Order of Phoenix over A Goblet of Fire or the other way? Order of Phoenix was the last one we just watched, number 5.
I'm trying to think of what happened in that one.
He doesn't even remember Yubi. He's like, I don't know. You're like June
So
from How Did This Get
where
Made?
was the Goblet of Fire?
Goblet of Fire is when Robert Pattinson pops up and he dies.
I think that one was like the second one for me.
Okay, so it's like
So
Prisoner of
3
Azkaban, Goblet of Fire, then Order of Phoenix. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, folks, that's the continuation of our Harry Potter series. Hope you all have enjoyed the 6th entry of this series. We got 2 more to go. 2 more to go. As always, you can follow the show at Medium P Podcast on all social media platforms. Be sure to go to youtube.com/Medium P Podcast. Push that subscribe button so you get a little about all future reviews and celebrity interviews we have on that channel. MediumPopcorn.com for all your Medium Popcorn needs. And please consider signing up for Patreon at patreon.com/Medium Popcorn. We have $2 to $15 tiers. It all helps the show because we are a Patreon supported show. We don't get paid from any other outlets. So please consider signing up and supporting the show at patreon.com/Medium Popcorn. You can also follow me at Frodo_Blackens on Instagram and Threads. That's basically the most social media platforms I'm at. FrodoBlackens.com for show dates and all that good stuff. Drunk Black History, one-man show, some other fun stuff coming up in the fall. So FrodoBlackens.com. And just not computer follow you, baby.
Stop calling me baby. You thought you could slip that one in, you little piece of shit. Guys, you can follow me at
So
Brown
graphic.
social media
So
platform. That's where
graphic.
I'm living, baby.
What? I just said so grab. I just hear you say, "Oh, baby."
Mm-hmm.
You want to say your username one more time for people to?
J Brown did it on all the social media platforms.
What did you
That's
say
where
the
I'm
other
living, baby.
time when you didn't say J Brown did it? You said J Brown. Like, fuck, I forgot what you said.
Dude, it or some shit like that.
Done
This is
it.
a wild
J
shit.
Brown done it. Folks, also leave us a voicemail at 347-464-8214. It's been a while since we got one. Again, it's 347-464-8214. The number's also in our show notes. Or leave a 5-star review on your favorite podcast application. We just need a little bit more engagement from y'all. It's been a little quiet out here.
You know, I would love to hear somebody call in who's a big Harry Potter fan and tell me why I'm wrong.
Ooh, that'd be great. Yeah, do that, folks.
Tell me why I'm wrong.
347-464-8214. Call and tell Justin why he's wrong.
Yeah, because you know what? Because Brandon, I've already turned this nigga.
I think I'm too close.
wanna-
Yeah, it's
I need to hear from somebody who haven't turned yet. Tell me why I'm wrong, so I can turn you too.
all right. That sounds so weird.
I'm gonna turn your ass out.
All right, folks. We'll talk to y'all soon.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Medium popcorn. We are 2 niggas spoiling movies. Yeah. Brandon Collins, that's me, and Justin Brown for your movie needs. Medium popcorn. Woo! You haven't seen it, well, we're gonna spoil it. Spoil it in your face. That's your warning. So if you get pissed, it's all your